Hello friends, Kisan is here again and welcome you in this video tutorial. This video is continuation of my previous video tutorial. There we had started trying to understand how long accumulator works in Java 8. So some of the code were pending, so let's try to complete remaining pending code in this video tutorial. So before proceeding, let me explain you what code I had done in my previous video tutorial. So in previous video tutorial, just I had created an interface is called LongAccumulator task service interface, which extends callable interface, right? And this interface I have declared two methods, increment and final value. And if you look into the callable interface is a marker interface which is having only one method is called call. So if any class implements this interface, then implementer has to, if a class implements this interface, then that implementer has to implement three methods, right? Two methods from this interface and one method which is inheriting from this method. So overall three method has to implement. So I have created a implementer of this interface, right? That is called LongAccumulator task service IMPL implements LongAccumulator task service. In that case, you don't need to implement this interface again, right? So that I'm going to remove. Now this IMPL class has implemented this interface which is inheriting from the two interfaces, right? So and here in this class I have declared two instance variable, LongAccumulator and number of times, and these instance variable I'm trying to initialize using constructor. So pretty simple. Now the rest of the code we had completed except call method. So in this call method, what I'm trying to do, let's create a for loop, and for loop will start from 1 and will go till number of times which we are taking, number of times, right? And within this I will call increment method, right? So let's call increment method from here, right? So here we are not collecting this return type of increment, but here you are free to choose return type of this method as a void as well. So because return value we are not, just we are making call to this method, that's it. And in LongAccumulator, just we are trying to accumulate every time value 10, that is a long type of value. And as we know that LongAccumulator has a get method which will return you the accumulated value, right? So that's it. And we have a final value which will return, we will call from the client program, which will return us the final value. Now let's save this class and let's come to the client program. From client program I had created instance of long binary operator. Why we have created instance of long binary operator? Because when you initialize LongAccumulator, then constructor of this class takes two parameters. First parameter is the accumulator function, which is nothing but an instance of long binary operator, and long binary operator is a functional interface which is having only one method. So we have applied lambda expression for this. So these two long value we are just adding and passing to the this. Basically we have defined a behavior in terms of lambda expression, right? So lambda expression is nothing but this an object, right? And this object we are passing over here, and while creating the LongAccumulator we have passed accumulator function, and we have passing the identity value, initial value as a 5L, right? And just we have created two instance of accumulator task service IMPL, and here this instance we can assign to a reference of its interface, right? So we have created two tasks, and by passing LongAccumulator every time, and we are passing 100L and 100L, and now these two tasks just we have added in this list, and we are trying to execute these tasks by using executor framework, right? And just we are looping through this task. When we will call future.get, then these two tasks will be executed by the parallel threads, because we are using the thread pool, and with thread pool size we have specified 2, and finally when you come out to the loop and we'll try to long dot get, then this will give us the final value which is available in accumulator, right? So here in this code, while writing code into call method, finally we'll have to return the final value by specifying like this accumulator.get. And let's try to run the client program. Now here we are getting value 2005. Why 2005? Because here while calling this constructor we are passing the number of times 100, right? And we are passing the long accumulator, and both every time we are passing the same long accumulator and number of times 100. So this will call the, and this will call when you look into the your client program, when you do future dot get, then the call method will be called, right, which is available in your this class. And this is just trying to increment every time. We are calling just increment method, and every time that is accumulating value of 10. So 100. So first time if you look into the here 100, we are passing 100 times, you are collecting accumulating 10. So this will give you the 1000, and again this will give you the 1000 plus 1000, right, 2000, and initial value was 5L. So that's why 2005 is getting returned, right? If you give the initial value as 0 and if you try to run it, then see how it works. Then this is showing us the 2000. And if you specify the 0 as an initial value or identity value, then this class is, in that class, this class behavior would be very much similar to the class is called LongAdder, which we are going to explore in next video tutorial. So if you specify the identity value 0, then this will work as a LongAdder. Now we have seen how LongAccumulator.get method works, and we have also seen how we have accumulate method works. So these two API we have seen. And if you look into this class LongAccumulator, there are some more API, and that API is pretty straightforward. So this API basically available in double accumulator as well. So this API works in the similar fashion. So when you say accumulate, so you are passing the long value. How many, what will be the long value to accumulate every time. Get, this will return you the final value, right? And reset will reset it, right? The reset to the its identity value. So reset variable maintaining the object to the identity value. So that's about the reset. Now get then reset. So this will give you the whatever value hold by the accumulator, and that will reset to the identity value. ToString is the string representation of get, right? If you want the value to be returned in long or int, float, double, then you can apply corresponding this method, right? So if sometimes you don't want to return, this returns you in long, right? Sometimes if you want value to be returned in int or float or double, then of course you can apply these methods. So these methods are pretty straightforward, and these methods we have covered in double accumulator. So you can watch my previous video so that it will be very much clear on this API. And this code I am going to upload on the GitHub, and GitHub location I will specify in the video description itself. If you have any queries or questions, then please do post below to this video. I will try my best to answer those queries. And thanks for watching this video, and see you in next video tutorial.